P&O Cruises, is it the correct line for you? Let's find out. So welcome aboard to today's show. Now if you watched the last couple of episodes, we've been comparing Morella and P&O. Well, today we're going to look at P&O. The other day we looked at Morella, then we looked at the pricing between Morella and P&O, and today we're going to look at P&O and what's my thoughts on P&O. So I like to make these videos because I have been on the ships, and I think it's fair for someone that's been on a few times to actually make a proper comparison due to someone who's maybe been on once or twice. I'm not saying you don't get a full review by going on once or twice, but sometimes you can have an amazing time, and sadly sometimes you have a not so amazing time, to be fair. So today I'm going to tell you my feelings about the P&O line and what I think it's suitable for and who it's not suitable for. So let's find out. So my first P&O experience was aboard the Britannia, and can I say, what an amazing ship the Britannia is. It's an absolutely stunning, beautiful cruise ship, and it's just sublime. It's, you know, I've been on, if you follow the channel, I do the Princess ones quite a lot, the mid-size ones, which is the same as the Britannia. And I have to honestly say, I think the Britannia is much better styled than the Princess cruises. I know people like the Princess cruises, but I think the Britannia is a ultra chic, modern design, and it's very, very cool. So I do really, really like the Britannia styling. So after the Britannia, we went on to the Azora. Now, when I went onto the Azora, I had very mixed feelings because I found it to be, what's the word? Dated, but it's not dated, it's not an old ship. They just made that kind of design for the period. And for me personally, there's some aspects I really do like, and then there's other aspects of which I think it makes it feel heavily dated. So that was a kind of like a dip in my P&O love affair. And then I went on the Iona, and can I just say, the Iona absolutely blew me away. That class of vessel is absolutely fantastic. There was nothing really I could fault about the Iona. I found it to be absolutely stunning and absolutely fantastic. And here lies my kind of first problem with the P&O brand. It's got quite a divide. So what I mean by that is, you go on the Iona and think, wow, this is amazing. I'm going to try a different one. And then you book onto like the Azora, and it's like, what's happened here? They are just so contrasting. It's amazing. The Iona and the new one, the Arvia, I'll get the names correct today, see? The Arvia are two ships that will blow you away. Now, if you're a family, I highly suggest going on those two ships. They are amazing. Now, if you're kind of middle of the range, I would highly suggest the Britannia. The Britannia is a beautiful ship and has lots going for it. So where does that lie with the other ships? Well, they often do longer voyages, and they don't have the Ritz. Well, they have the Ritz or the Grit. They have like a classic cruise line experience. But this is kind of my dilemma. What I'm saying is, if you've been on the Iona, then you go on a different P&O cruise, you're going to get a different kind of ship experience. I'm not saying it's not as good ship experience. I'm just saying the line is slightly muddled in my eyes between what you can expect between ship to ship. But let's not just talk about ships. Let's talk about service and quality. Is the P&O line good for you? So who does P&O suit? Well, P&O would suit, I would say, a British person or somebody who is into kind of British things. You don't have to be British, you just have to kind of like that kind of style, if that makes sense. Because everything I suppose, is very heavily British. So you're going to see afternoon tea, the entertainment, the quiz, etc, etc, etc. It also offers a more traditional cruising experience, which people really do like. It's not as heavy as, say, like a Cunard experience, but you still do get a pure, true cruise experience. That's like a tongue twister. Pure, true cruise experience with the P&O line. You can expect to have gala nights or dress to impress nights, which lots of people do enjoy. You can expect to have lovely captain's meetings, captain's meals, all the kind of more traditional cruising aspects. So if this is kind of like your first cruise and you want like a proper cruising experience, then I would suggest a P&O holiday may be for you. P&O also offer wonderful fly cruises, which to make things really, really easy because they will arrange the flights, they will arrange your luggage, and they will arrange everything in between. P&O also do offer drinks packages. Now, would I recommend getting a P&O drinks package? Well, maybe. I'll say maybe. Because actually the drinks on the P&O cruise line are extremely affordable. So you don't want to feel like you've been pushed into getting something that maybe you don't actually require. Because say you only drink a few drinks a day, then you probably better go and pay as you go. Because the line's drinks are very affordable. On certain lines, I will say 100 million %, I'm saying you have to go for the drinks package. Where in this particular case, I'm saying maybe. It would depend on you. Now, there is a caveat to this. So let's pretend I and my partner do drink, and then we have some children. So as far as I'm aware, the kids still do get the soda package for free of charge if the adults in the same cabin do purchase the drinks package. So i.e. if it's £56 a day or something, and then the kids are getting a soda. I don't know if it's £56 a day. That was just a number I picked up my head, by the way. But let's say it's £56 a day and the kids get the soda package. So in essence, your package is already down to £48 a day. But I would strongly recommend doing a bit of maths and working it out. And also another perk the P&O do allow is 2 extra perks actually. One, you are allowed to bring 1 litre of wine aboard when you first get on board, and also you are, as far as I'm aware, allowed to bring unlimited soft drinks. So these are obviously meant to be consumed in your cabin. If you was to put it into a water bottle, I would suggest nobody is going to say a kind of dicky bird regarding you walking around with a bottle full of pop. That's completely up to you, but I don't think anybody would be saying anything. So P&O do offer a round the world experience. So when we compare the other two compared to the Marella versus P&O, it's like I say, it's not quite an apples for apples. If we go for the P&O Azora, that can compare to the Marella. The other ships cannot, unfortunately. Like I say, the Iona is a mind-blowing ship with amazing entertainment, amazing light shows, amazing everything. I tell you what, I was really blown away. We booked it because it was affordable, and we got 2 cabins, and it was only about £2,000, if I was with you. We went away in February, and it was fantastic. And it's not that I didn't want to enjoy it. Of course, I wanted to enjoy it. I paid a lot of money, but I wasn't expecting to enjoy it quite as much as I did enjoy it. I found it to absolutely be fantastic. The service. The cabin steward's fantastic. I don't like the drinks on the P&O when you have the drinks package. So I wanted a hard drink, i.e. a beer, but then I also wanted like a bottle of water to go alongside of it. But you can't do that. You kind of have one or the other, and there's also a 15-minute gap between each thing. Now, some of the staff were a bit more flexible than others, but it was just, I don't know. I sound like I'm nitpicking, but you paid a lot of money and I'm just asking for like something I am entitled to. So that was a bit annoying. But then again, maybe they're pushing people to use more of the water fountains, which can be found on the modern vessels. But I just wanted a beer and a bottle of water, and several times I got told no. So it kind of got my bum up. I got a bit grumpy. But bar that, I had no real issues with anything else. So what have we said so far? We've said P&O is the line for you if you want an easy travel experience going around the world, if you want a quality travel experience going around the world, and if you want to try and go on like a traditional more style cruise. So during the day, it's actually quite relaxed, if I'm honest with you. When you read all the pamphlets and that kind of stuff, you just need to follow basic etiquette. If you're going in, say we're somewhere hot and you're going in the dining room, then you need to dress up obviously a little bit. Ladies need to cover up, men need to wear tops, of course, etc, etc. Now in the evening, not every evening you don't have to dress up. There will be gala or dress to impress evenings where they would expect you to dress up. You don't have to go as crazy as you think, believe it or not. I would just show common etiquette by wearing, if I didn't want to dress up, I would just wear something like you would wear if I was taking you out to have a meal on a $1 billion cruise ship. That's what I'm saying. No, like if you go into like a nice restaurant, I would just wear that and you won't stick out like a sore thumb. Nor though, if you want to dress up crazy and look like you've just entered a snooker competition or won Monopoly, you won't stick out either, because that's the whole thing about it. And that's why a lot of people do go on P&O cruises. You can dress up, and that's an appeal for lots of people, and I really do see that. Also, can I add that P&O do offer great dancing facilities on certain ships. So if you are into dancing, ballroom kind of style, tango, Latin America, I don't know the names of most of it, but I have been on the ships and have seen the dancing, and I found it to be really, really entertaining. And I've spoken to some of the guests and they've said, yeah, that is one of the key reasons we come onto the P&O line, because they do have amazing dancing facilities. Also, can I add, we're rolling now, aren't we? They do have amazing guest speakers as well that come on board. So the line is a wonderful, nurturing place of knowledge, and as well as anything else. But yeah, as much as I come over maybe a bit rough sometimes on P&O, when you actually start to look at it, it's actually a really, really good line. So I've been trying to make my video shorter, and I will make the video shorter today. So to conclude, what have we spoken about is P&O for you. So P&O is for somebody who wants a more traditional cruising experience. They want to get great value. If you've not realized how good the value is, you need to look at the Marella video, Marella versus P&O. P&O prices are really, really, really affordable. And like I say, if you just have the drinks pay as you go, you can get some amazing deals. In fact, I'm going to book one today, I think. I've seen one that goes on the Ventura over to Amsterdam, and I think for the price, it's crazy. It's actually cheaper or more affordable than getting the ferry, which is absolutely crazy. That's crazy. That's how good the line is. But you can expect a wonderful experience by booking with P&O. And like I say, you get this kind of like more traditional cruising experience, which you will enjoy. And I think if you have booked a P&O cruise, or you're thinking about P&O cruise, and all these kind of things that appeal to you, you like live entertainment, British entertainment, live music, that kind of stuff, then you're gonna have a fantastic time. I've really enjoyed the shows I've seen upon the Iona, especially. They were really, really good. In fact, everything on the Iona is really, really good. In fact, if you take anything from this video, go and book the P&O Iona and you'll be really, really happy. There we go. That is my top tip. The P&O Iona is possibly not the best cruise ship I've ever been on. One of the best cruising experiences I have ever been on. I went on there and I booked on there to go on again because it was so mind-blowingly fantastic for me. It just was really, really good. And I found it just to be amazing. So if you want to have an amazing time, go and book the P&O Iona. So there we go. That concludes today's show. So I do waffle on a bit and I do apologise, and the thing isn't about me at all, it's about the community and any questions you may have. So should you have any questions regarding the P&O line and you want them answering, then in the comments below, if you just write, and then we will answer them ourselves, or some of the community members will answer them on your behalf and hopefully get the answer you're looking for. But I would highly recommend trying a P&O cruise, especially if you can get like a really affordable one. You just can't go wrong, really. It's a nice cruising experience, it's lots of fun, and you'll have a fantastic time. So on behalf of myself, Johnny, from Cruise My Father, we will see you in the next video. So take it easy, guys, and thank you for watching. Bye!